Hi there. So, your next customer most likely is already on LinkedIn. So, they are in your leads, maybe interacting with your content, interacting and following content creators. They are working for your target companies. So, the best way to build a relationship with your next customer is connecting with them on LinkedIn. So this is exactly why we have this feature called networking campaigns. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a campaign, how to manage it, and more importantly, the different ways that you can build a campaign in Teamfluence. So let's start with the simple part, which is create one campaign. Create a campaign, you have to come to networkings and to the campaigns tab. And here you'll be able to create one campaign yourself. We have this button here to create campaign. Name it accordingly depending on who's your target, who you are building this campaign. So I'm building this campaign for our help center, so let's do it. Okay, so once you create a campaign, this is your default view, okay? You have the campaign details here. You can add a tag accordingly to this campaign. You can add a description, so it can be a description of who's these target people. So here, two things you can, if you enable this button, basically you are disqualifying profiles with no recent activity, okay? And here is the day where you're gonna set up the number of days that they have been inactive. So for example, if I write this here, I am telling that I want Teamfluence to disqualify people that have been inactive over 120 days. But maybe this is not relevant for you, so leave it as default disabled. Here is for you to receive a notification when the campaigns run out of profiles to send connection requests to. So, first step, how do I add profiles into this campaign? So, the easiest way to start adding profiles into this campaign is one based on a search on LinkedIn. So once you are on LinkedIn, you can search for people, and obviously you can apply filterings. Okay, all the filters that you want. Usually, do your search of your ICP. Okay, so what locations, where are they located? So let's say I want to find people in Porto. What current companies do they work for? Connections of, followers of. So, for example, if I want to connect with people following a certain content creator that I know that most likely my ICP is following them too. Past companies, schools, industries. So let me put here technology, IT services, what's the profile languages, services that they offer, and then here for example the title. So let's say I want to look for head of sales and I want to see results. So here are all the head of sales that match these keywords that I just put in here. And how do I build my company? Once you have your search here, you have to open the extension from Teamfluence, and the extension from Teamfluence will load the contacts of your first page, okay? And you can see them that they are selected here, all the contacts. You can see here selected 10. You can select and deselect some contacts if you don't think they are that relevant from what you are seeing here. And then you need to make sure that you are pushing them into the right networking campaign. I can see that that is correct. I just created this one called Help Center. And once you're happy with it, you can add the profiles into the networking campaign. It's very important that you know that when you do a search, we do not brute force anything with LinkedIn. So we are enabling you to add the first page results. But if you want to add more contacts, you're going to have to go to page 2, give the extension some time to load the contacts from page 2, and then you can come here, add the profiles, and moving forward. So if you want the contacts from page 3, same process, go to page 3, give it a little bit of time for the contacts to load, and you can add the profiles. and so on. So how does this look like now? Let's go here. Here are all the contacts that we just added. We can see here, updated a minute ago, 29 profiles. And this is how you can upload profiles from the search of LinkedIn. Now, before I show you how you activate a campaign, how you can join a campaign, let's talk about the other options of building a networking campaign. So let's talk of them step by step. So the next option that you can see here inside of the page is the possibility of import profiles. The import option works two ways. You either upload from HubSpot if that's your CRM and if you use the native integration, or you can upload from a CSV file. If you click on upload from a CSV file, you're going to have here all the requirements. There's a maximum of 500 rows per upload. Just read here the requirements, download the sample file so you understand how the CSV files should be formatted, and then you are good to go. You just upload your file and you click here on upload, and you'll be able to enrich this campaign with more contacts. So far I covered two options, either search from LinkedIn or import profiles. Now I want to talk about a third one, which is the possibility that you have of pushing post engagers from specific posts on LinkedIn into a networking campaign. Let's say there's a post from a thought leader that is talking about a topic that is very relevant for your product, or maybe even you have a competitor talking about a solution that you also have. So your ICPs might be engaging with it and you know that they are solution aware, and you might want to send connection requests to those people. Maybe there's a team member as well that is not part of Teamfluence that is having a lot of engagement in one of their contents, and you want to push the post engagers into a networking campaign for you to send invites to connect to. So effectively, how does this work? I choose this post from Alex to be pushed into a networking campaign. Once you go into anyone's post, any post on LinkedIn, you'll have this plugin from Teamfluence, and next to all the other buttons. And this plugin allows you to do three things, but the one that I want to focus on today is this section here in add to a connection campaign. So effectively, what does this do is that we are going to push all the post engagers from this specific post into a networking campaign. So I'll see here that we have the option of select. So I'm going to select the help center campaign, and now eventually I'm going to push all the post engagers of this post into a networking campaign. Right, we covered again a few options. Okay, the last one that I want to talk about is the workflows. So obviously the next possibility of adding contacts into a networking campaign for you to send invites to are people that are already engaging with you or your company page or your team members that are qualified. And if you are not connected with them, you definitely want to send an invite to connect. So I'm going to give you an example of an easy workflow that makes a lot of sense for you to implement in your workspace, which is basically pushing ICP leads that are interacting with your company page that you are not connected to into a networking campaign. So how do we do this? Let's go into workflows and let's create, I'm going to call this an help center as well. So first step, as any workflow, is to select your trigger. So let's say you have a new company page follower, right? And you obviously want to run these if they are your ICP or not. You don't want to waste connection requests to people that are not really qualified. So my next step should be match with AI agent. I'm gonna use our default one. Same for company. And from here, if it's true, And then the next step, obviously, is that if I'm sending invites to connect, I want to check, obviously, if I'm connected to those people or not. So I should add a layer of filter where I check if they are connected with us or not. So I can put here team members connected, and maybe I choose is not connected with any of, and I select the people, the team members that are actually going to be in the networking campaign where I'm pushing these contacts to. So let's say I want to see people that are not connected either with me or Matthias. And then if this is true, so we are not connected, I am adding them into a networking campaign. So here I'm going to select the campaign, let's say Help Center. And now basically what is going to happen is that all the company page followers that are an ICP match, that are not connected with two of the team members that will be in this networking campaign, are being added into this networking campaign. And basically we can run this campaign around, hey, we noticed that you followed our company page, thanks for connecting with me as well. And then give room for the person to reply and build a relationship there. All right, so now that we understand all the ways that how we can build a campaign, let's learn how we can manage a campaign and how does this work. So once you created your campaign and you think it's ready for it to go live and for you to start sending invites, here's a few steps and here's a few things that you need to understand about the campaigns. First thing is that for the campaign to run, you have to activate the campaign. Okay, it's the first mandatory step. Once you click on activate the campaign, this campaign is active and it's ready to be joined. Okay, but without participants, either with you joining or some of your team members to join, the campaign won't run anyway. So we need to either join or add participants to assign these contacts to someone. So first step, if you want to join a campaign, so you yourself sending the invites, what you have to do is pretty simple. Click here on the join the campaign for you to send connection requests to these contacts. So if you click on join, exactly like on LinkedIn, you have two options. So you can personalize a connection request message. Okay, you have the variable here of the first name, and this means that you are sending a personalized note with your invite to connect. And you can also, or depends completely up to you, attach the follow-up message once the connection request was accepted. So let's say you send an invite to connect one of these contacts, they accept, and then you can personalize here your follow-up message to them. For example, the example of the workflow that I gave of the new company page followers, maybe my follow-up message here can be super personalized, like, hey John, I saw you followed our company page, thought it would be great to connect with you as well. And here you can define the delay which you are sending those follow-up messages. Just so you know, the message is not sent immediately once the connection request was accepted, because this is done through our extension. We try to mimic user behavior, so there's a little bit of delay between the connection was made, we receive this information, and then we send the execution task of sending the follow-up message. But anyway, if you want, you can decide to send this message, for example, 2 days after you've done the connection with this contact. So this is how you join a campaign. Then obviously you can also add participants into a campaign. So if your team members allow these, so if your team members allow you to add them into networking campaigns and to send messages on their behalf, you can do this. So I can add my colleague, for example, Matthias here, and exactly like I explained before, I can personalize a connection note, or I can personalize a follow-up message once their connection request was accepted. Please keep in mind that if you are managing these for your colleagues, try to write a message that match their tones, and make sure that you sign on their behalf as well. Okay. So this is how you join a connection campaign. Now it's important for you to understand the different status here. So right now you can see that all the contacts are queued. This basically means that they are ready to be assigned once someone joins the connection campaign. Okay, the contacts will be assigned randomly to all the participants of the campaign. If there's just one, you're going to be assigned X amount per day, and the invites will be sent out. And then the status of the leads can be either from queue, that they can either be scheduled. This means that this contact was assigned and the invite is scheduled to be sent at some point that day. Invited means that you send an invite to connect already, and unconnected, it means that you are already connected with, that you connected with this contact from this campaign. Now let's talk about limits. Okay, so each user have a number of profiles that they can be assigned per day. Again, use this feature with how you will use LinkedIn. So try to not send a lot of automations per day, but you can also change these numbers. By default, when you join Teamfluence, each user have 5 profiles assigned per day. You can change that number either here. Okay, I can update my daily connection request limit, or I can do it here on my account settings. In my account settings, I can here as well upload my daily request limit. And then another thing that is important to note here as well, it's your results. And here you can try to understand how are these campaigns running. So we have this one, we are running a webinar, we are sending invites to people, it's both me and Matthias, and we can see here that our conversion is actually pretty good, of 54%. We had 781 people in this campaign. We connected with more than half, so 418 profiles from that campaign. Actually, if we take a look here, we can see the status are either invited or connected. I can come here and I can see all the ones that were assigned to me, and for example I can also see all the ones that were assigned to me that I connected with. Okay, and have here a pretty good view of the results of this campaign. And obviously you can also see the results of this campaign inside your lead monitoring or your prospect tracker. So if I can come here, I can come here and apply filters of people that come from this campaign webinar invites. I click apply, and here I can see all the results that came from that campaign. Some of them are ICP matches, and I can see the full history as well. So I can see here that I connected with Matthias from this, but also that they've interacted, they followed our company page a few months ago, they visit Steven's profile, and now they connected with Matthias, and so on. So here it is. So inside of this tutorial, you have a bunch of how-to articles just about these little topics that I just explored with you, and I hope this was helpful. Happy networking!